All right, let's talk about this black ice stuff again because it seems like it's a big topic right now. There's a lot of people, whether they understand their indigeneity or they call themselves FBA or they just, still sticking with the same term black. They're all saying that, it's good that there are black ICE agents. They say that these are just people trying to get their money. They shouldn't be shamed out of it. Why shouldn't they take these seats of authority? And so forth. And then they attack the Democrats, right? They say, well, Democrats, they don't want you to do this. They don't want you to think that. They want you to hate your own country, yada, yada. Let me just offer my perspective. This is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. I don't give a damn. Yes, ICE has existed for 2 decades. I understand that it's a career path that people choose. But I don't think a lot of people really understand why ICE has been getting so much funding, especially as the war ramps up in Iran and nobody is really signing up for the military like that. There is a reason why the sign-up bonus is so much. There is a reason why they will cancel all your debt, because as the cost of oil inflates everything and as the value of the dollar evaporates, there will not be any incentive for social order. They have also been building billion-dollar prisons in the state that I live in. At least 2 or 3 of them in the past 5 years. ICE is here to normalize conscription and to normalize military occupancy. They are not here to protect anything but the dying system. And if you consider yourself indigenous, you have indigenous ancestry in the Southeast. Your ancestors talked about the 4 fires prophecy, which says that anybody going back to the original ways will survive the collapse of this society. And as things get economically harder, you have people right now that are going back to their indigenous ways and gardening. They're going back to their indigenous ways and preparing for what is to come. At this current trajectory, there will be a famine. And at that point, you're going to have a dying empire using its police pawns or ICE pawns to try to keep the system afloat. And they will be expected to do things that goes against their people. See, right now, you think they're just targeting immigrants. But I'd argue that this whole immigrant stuff is a big red herring. I think it was more of a catalyst, or a reason, rather, to activate domestic bodies to further perpetuate the last of this dying empire. I think that the elites have been using them for preemptive positioning, maybe even to enforce a certain type of lockdown, because now we already see lockdowns happening in Asia. And this is my point. When shit hits the fan, why would you bound yourself in a contract to pedophiles? Why not start your own militia? Why not create your own support groups? Why not organize free dinners at community centers? That would actually be proactive. That would be of high integrity.